don't have to experiment to know what it's about, you know?
So you're saying your music, in a sense, some of it's a warning?
Yes. Yes.
Tell me, I think people are curious how a guy, you've sold how many records?
28 million.
And made millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah.
How do you end up in here?
I think everyone who's watching knows how I ended up in here.
Well, the industry is full of homo, hate nigga. It's like they got this new breed of rapper that's paying DJs to play their and, right. You know what I'm saying? They sucking the record label executive. It's like there's too much of that going on. Right. You know what I'm saying? Let me be me. Let me be the artist that I am and just play my music.
The objective is to keep you blind. So along with the handcuffs in your arms, you got shackles on your mind.
I only met her once. Well, you know, Locks got signed before I did. Even though I bought the Locks to our riders, you know, they got signed. They were a safer group. You know, Puff signed them. And it was a blessing and a curse because they were sure they were happy about getting signed first, and they were on the Benjamins and but then he made them jiggy and put them in the suits and made them write lyrics for him and took all their publishing and took like, damn. I'm glad.
You're gonna start hearing more in my rounds about the government, politics, about crooked in this world, and I'm exposing everybody. I don't give no more.
Two of the realest voices in hip-hop tried to warn us, and now they're both gone. Before DMX died, he said he was jailed for crossing the wrong people. Before Prodigy passed, he promised to expose the entire industry. And the names they called out? Jay-Z, Diddy. The same figures tied to Biggie, Pac, and a long line of young artists who didn't make it out. Let's break down what they tried to say, and why so many believe they paid the price for saying it. All right, hold up. Before we dive deeper into this rabbit hole, I need to ask you something. When DMX went to prison, what did the media tell you? Substances, right? Tax problems? The usual troubled rapper narrative they love to push? Well, what if I told you that's complete BS, and DMX himself knew it? See, here's the thing about DMX that separated him from every other artist. This man was spiritually connected in a way that made industry executives sweat bullets. He could see through their games, their manipulation, their whole sick system. And when he got locked up, instead of breaking down like they hoped, he did something that probably terrified them. He started connecting dots. Listen to what he says about his time behind bars, because this isn't your typical found God in prison story. This is something way more sinister.
You don't have to experiment to know what it's about, you know?
So you're saying your music, in a sense, some of it's a warning?
Yes. Yes.
Tell me, I think people are curious how a guy, you've sold how many records?
28 million.
And made millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah.
How do you end up in here?
I think everyone who's watching knows how I ended up in here.
I don't know if they do.
I'm pretty sure they do. Anytime you get it, I'm pretty sure they do. You know, there's how do I end up in here? You know what? I'm gonna look at it in a positive light and say that I came here to meet somebody. Don't know who it was, but I'll know when I see him, and I came here to give him a message. And that message is Jesus loves him. You know what I'm saying? I came here to give him the word. That's why I'm here. Regardless of what it looks like, you know, regardless of what people think, that's why I'm here. I came here to meet somebody and tell them about the glory of God.
Did you catch that? Someone's scheme. He was not talking about some random setup. DMX was telling us straight up that his imprisonment was orchestrated, and sources close to the situation believe he was specifically talking about Jay-Z here. But here's the kicker. He was using that time behind bars to hunt down other victims of the same system, other artists who got played just like him. This man turned his cell into a detective agency, digging through the industry's dirty laundry to piece together who else got caught in this web of exploitation. Look, we need to talk about the most cold-blooded betrayal in hip-hop history. Picture this. You're DMX. You've got a crazy successful run at Def Jam. Everything's golden. Then your boy Jay-Z gets promoted to CEO. And suddenly you're working on what should be your biggest album yet. But here's where it gets twisted. The same dude who used to blow up your phone for everything, who acted like your biggest supporter, goes completely ghost the moment your album is finished.
Finish the album, shoot the video. What happened? Let's go on vacation and, we don't know. What you mean you don't know? How do you listen to a whole album, pick a single, shoot a video, then don't know? Okay, I see what's really good. You're trying to eliminate the competition. Because at first you retire, then get me off the label, now you're back rapping again. Okay.
That silence wasn't coincidence. It was calculated destruction. Jay-Z deliberately buried DMX's 6th album because he knew it would overshadow everything he was trying to build. This wasn't business. This was elimination. DMX went from label priority to industry exile overnight, all because Jay-Z couldn't handle the competition. But don't just take my word for it. Listen to what industry insider Irv Gotti had to say about this whole situation, because he witnessed the fear in Jay-Z's eyes firsthand.
First meeting I ever had, I was like, we gotta sign DMX, and they laughed at me. I remember when I left the office, Tina Davis said, she knew what I wanted to sign DMX. She said, DMX don't sell, your is fired. Jay and Dame did not believe in DMX. Jay would be like, you think he's better than me? And I'd be like, he's nice just like you. I said, if you look in the hood, there's less of like you and more like him. Yeah, but he don't want to live that. He's depressing, Gotti. And I said, I don't give a. So Jay used to watch me grind with X, and he was off with the Hitman. And then something strange happened when I made Get At Me Dog. If you remember at the beginning of the video, it's the heartbeats, doom doom, DMX, doom doom, live at the tunnel. Y'all don't even remember the tunnel. Funk Massive, doom doom, and then I put that sound bite. Let's take it back to the streets, mother.
Irv Gotti just confirmed what we all suspected. Jay-Z was terrified of DMX's raw power and authentic connection with fans. And get this, Jay-Z literally came out of retirement specifically after DMX got kicked off the label. That's not coincidence, that's strategy. He waited until his biggest threat was neutralized before making his move. Now here's the part that's gonna blow your mind, because this isn't speculation. DMX himself admitted he was a direct threat to Jay-Z's empire.
X is about to go on, and I'm like, I want to see. I got like
X
a little.
is before you.
X is going before me. And then he goes, and the arena goes crazy. First of all, it's deafening, and I'm like, oh. He has a thing like a Alizé and Hennessy mixed. It looks like blood. It's like he's drinking blood, right? And he's running back and forth. 1, 2, 1, 2. Here we go. 1, 2. Halfway through the show, then he takes his shirt off.
Now
all the girls are screaming,
ah! And the dog chain.
Yeah, the dog chain, and he's going nuts, right? And I'm like, first the guys are going crazy, now the girls are going crazy. And then he gets to the end, and he starts a prayer.
Oh my God.
And now they're crying.
Yeah.
The whole arena is crying. Yeah. And I'm like, they're like, hey, now you go.
DMX knew exactly what he represented to Jay-Z's carefully constructed image. He was everything Jay-Z wasn't: authentic, spiritual, uncontrollable. And that made him dangerous. This admission basically signed his death warrant, because once you acknowledge you're a threat to someone with that much power, you become a target for elimination. But the betrayal goes deeper than just shelving an album. What DMX discovered next about Jay-Z and Diddy's partnership will make your blood boil. What if I told you that DMX exposed that Jay-Z and Diddy weren't just business partners? They were running a full-scale exploitation ring together, and DMX figured it out.
The things that the devil does, it's not so much a person, even though he acts through people. You can't call one person the devil. You can't call any one person the devil. You can't do that, because no one person has enough power to be the devil. And it's through all these hardships that I realized that, you know what? This is God's country because I met the devil here. Because if I hadn't met the devil here, I wouldn't realize I was strong enough to overcome the obstacles that the devil would place in my path. And it's by overcoming these obstacles that I realized that this is God's country, because he helped me get over these obstacles.
DMX was exposing a coordinated system. He was telling us that Diddy and Jay-Z had a complete operation working behind the scenes to keep their exploitation ring running smoothly. They weren't competitors. They were business partners in the sickest sense. DMX never changed his stance about this. Whether he was in prison or out, he knew these two were working together to control and mistreat young talent. But wait, it gets worse. Listen to how DMX breaks down their entire deception playbook.
I think it's a conspiracy against me You know, because in the absence of the truth, will prevail. So as long as nobody out there spitting real, you know, you can come up with anything and it'll sell, you know what I'm saying? But once you put the truth out there, it's like people have something to compare everything else to. So, you know, you got a lot of people who are not really happy about the fact that, you know, my album is about to drop. You know, they're not really happy about, you know, Lord, give me a sign. And, you know, we in here and, you know, things of that nature. But you know what? If you want to rap or sing or whatever, don't become a part of the game. You know what? Listen to a song I called The Industry. And that pretty much explains, you know what I'm saying, what the industry. Man, it's not the same. The industry, it's not a game. The industry, real dying to get in the industry just to find they don't fit in. The industry ain't what it used to be. The industry's trying to control the way you MC. They want you to dress like this and talk like that, but I'm going to dress like this and talk with the gap. The industry got y'all word meaning nothing. The industry heard because he's bluffing. The industry, money, hate, but I dare you to try to take a off my plate. The industry like, wait, but in the streets we like, get him. 17 up in that thing, catch him sleeping and hit him. My pop whoever's with him. The coroner's coming to get him. Industry.
DMX just exposed their whole game plan. How they lure young artists with promises of fame and fortune, then trap them in contracts that give them complete control while paying pennies. This isn't just business exploitation. This is systematic psychological manipulation designed to break down artists' resistance and make them compliant. Now here's the part that's going to make you sick to your stomach, because DMX is about to reveal the intimate component of their operation.
The industry is full of a bunch of sucking, riding, bending over the desk straight up like that. Whoever don't like it, bring it. Bring it. I don't give a bring it. Bring it.
Well, the industry is full of homo, hate. I mean, it's like they got this new breed of rapper that's paying DJs to play their
right.
And, you know what I'm saying? They sucking the record label executive. And it's like there's too much of that going on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Let me be me. Let me be the artist that I am and just play my music, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Now they want you all up under this, you know, sitting at the going to dinner with them and like that, and you know, all that favor for a favor shit. I don't get down like that. Look, I give you the music, you give my money. That's it.
A lot of the love I had for wanting to be a part of the industry is not there anymore. I don't even associate myself with the industry. You know what I'm saying? I'm not an industry artist. I'm an artist in the industry. You know?
And you've always stood alone, and
Yeah.
you know, bloodline.
I hang with you're not gonna see me at every party, every industry party, all the clubs. I go somewhere quiet, man, shoot pool with me and my mans and them. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of shit. That's the type of shit I do. You know what I'm saying? My remote control cars, jump on the four-wheelers. You know what I mean? I ain't with all that in the club, throwing it up and all that. I ain't got time for that man. And then you find yourself doing the same every day. What are you, alcoholic? You know what I mean? Come on, man. Give it a break, man. Live a little. You know what I mean? I play with my kids, man. I play with my toys, I play with my dogs, man. You know what I'm saying? We go somewhere, shoot pool. We do what the we do. You know what I mean? That's why you see us in places that you don't normally see. You're like, damn, why you here? Well, I'm here because why are you here, motherfucker? You here playing video games. Right then. You know what I mean?
These had the nerve to tell me one time, I said, yo, why I can't have two videos playing at the same time? Oh, because we don't want your videos to compete with each other. But then I turn on the TV, I ain't gonna say no artist names, but they got 3 videos back to back.
Exactly.
I'm like, you feeding me and you sucking these so crazy, man. What's wrong with that? Yo, I had to punch one in the face up there, man. After that, I was like, I'm not going to the office no more.
Is that how it went down?
Yeah. Cause I don't, you know, I'm a grown ass man, and I ain't got time to be playing no kid games, man. So once I see I'm not dealing with a man and he disrespects me, I'm breaking his jaw.
There it is, the ugly truth about what's really happening behind closed doors. DMX just confirmed that intimate exploitation is the currency of career advancement in this industry, and everyone on Diddy's payroll knew it, but stayed silent out of fear. This isn't just about music. This is about a systematic mistreatment network that uses fame as bait to trap vulnerable young artists. DMX wasn't afraid, and that's exactly why they had to silence him, because he was about to expose their entire operation, starting with their youngest victims. Now we're about to get into the most disturbing part of this whole conspiracy, and I need you to brace yourself for this, because what DMX exposed next isn't just about business exploitation. It's about Pred systematically targeting young underage people in the music industry. And when I say underage, I mean literal M's who had no idea what they were walking into.
To even talk to a face to face, you gotta talk through the crack in the door, cause you in there with a You ain't never you gotta talk to the crack in the door. You ain't got enough respect to talk to nigga face to face, and I'm here because of you. You.
Did you hear that? DMX just called out Jay-Z and Diddy for putting Justin Bieber and Usher in awkward positions when they were allegedly both underage. This isn't some vague industry criticism. This is a direct accusation about what these grown men were doing to Miss Justin was 15. Usher was even younger when he first got involved with these people. And DMX, being the real one he was, couldn't stay silent about it. But it gets worse, because DMX had specific examples of how Diddy operated with young artists. Listen to what he revealed about the Locks.
I only met him once. Well, you know, Locks got signed before I did. Even though I bought the Locks to our batters, you know, they got signed. They were a safer group. You know, Puff signed them. And it was a blessing and a curse, because they were sure they were happy about getting signed first, and they were on the Benjamins and but then he made them jiggy and put them in the suits and made them write lyrics for him and took all that publishing and them. Like, damn. I'm glad I didn't.
This isn't metaphorical. This is a direct accusation of SA tied to business exploitation. Diddy would trap these young artists financially, then mistreat them physically. It's the perfect Pred playbook. Isolate, control, exploit. And here's proof of how impossible it was to escape once you were in Diddy's web.
They was here yesterday and they said they didn't get no money.
They didn't say they didn't get no money.
The Locks.
They said they felt that at this point in their career that it doesn't make sense. They feel like you get more money than them.
So I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna tell you what I got. I'm gonna tell you what I got. Let's ask you. Let's remove me and the Locks. Me and you in a business deal. I meet you when you coming up. You want me to invest in you. You know what I'm saying? You a new company. I invested in D Block. You know what I'm saying? I'm investing in you. You a new company. At the end of the day, here come the splits. Out of the money, you get over $1.5 million. And I get 400 or under $400,000. That's it, New York. They got over $1.5 million. And I got
this was back then?
No, this is everything to date. They got $1.5 million.
Whole career?
They got for the albums they put out. These remember, they the streets. They not making no #1 top 10 pop records. They the streets. So they sitting here crying like I got more money. That's the money that I got. I'm divulging. I don't even speak my information on the street. I will never, ever do this again.
Honestly, just because I let you get some of that specifics in. We didn't really get into too much of the specifics yesterday. I guess just the point that they came up here was, you know, they might be misinformed. I don't know, yes or no, about how much exactly it is. But either way, they have been, they say, trying to get out of this publishing deal for 10 years.
Check this. Okay. If you check this out, if you yourself, you invest in AT&T.
Right.
Okay?
No, I get it. I get it.
No, you invest in AT&T. AT&T, they didn't even start making phones. Then AT&T, whatever years later, say that they want your shares back. But there's no reason. They just say that they just want their shares back. Or even better, you buy a house. You go and you buy a house on set in Harlem. You go buy the house. And
I mean, I get it. You're investing, you want it.
Yeah, but I'm saying it doesn't. So they've been calling, knock on the door, saying they want their house back. They had sold their house. They didn't even sell a house. To be honest, they came up here and they're portraying in New York that they sold a house. I don't own their house. Puff does not own 50%. Puff owns 20%. I don't never divulge my information or my business, but it's just the fact that this is just so crazy. And I'm just, it's not even worth it. This is not even worth it to me.
Right.
So out of the house that I bought, I don't even own the house. I just invested in the ground floor. So now you say, just give me the ground floor back just because. I could see if it was what they were saying. They came up here and cried to New York. They cried broke. They used the word slavery. Over $1.5 million in slavery, and I get 400. That's slavery? There's people that are really feeling like they working in the streets. Streets keep it real. There's people that are struggling, and they up here crying. Stop whining.
10 years. The Locks tried to get out of their bad boy contract for a full decade, and Diddy fought them every step of the way. This wasn't just about money. This was about control. Diddy had dirt on these artists and had compromised them in ways that made escape impossible. And when they went public, he turned the entire industry against them. This is the system DMX was trying to warn other young artists about, especially one artist who was already too deep in Diddy's trap to save himself. And there's one message that still haunts the streets to this day because people believe DMX was specifically trying to warn Biggie Smalls before it was too late.
We make the moves that break the rules. A fool and his money is soon parted, so we take from fools. If and when you ever fall down, get back up. Drop some, stop fronting, pick that back up. Stand for something or fall for everything. Wait for the right pitch or miss with every swing. In the absence of the truth, prevails. That's what they did around and threw truth in jail. The objective is to keep you blind. So along with the handcuffs in your arms, they got shackles on your mind. Seek and you shall find, accepting failure is the only crime. Fall down 8 times, get up 9.
The streets believe this message was directly for Biggie. And when you understand the timeline, it makes perfect sense. DMX already knew how Diddy and Jay-Z operated. He'd seen their intimidation tactics, their exploitation methods, their whole sick system. He was trying to tell Biggie not to fall for the trap that these industry devils had set. But here's the heartbreaking part. Biggie was already signed to Bad Boy, already caught in Diddy's web, and DMX knew exactly why Jay-Z and Diddy were so threatened by authentic talent, like Biggie, because they couldn't control it.
It ain't about believing. It's about loving what you do and doing what you do for the pure enjoyment of knowing that you're the best at what you do.
Okay.
Yo, couldn't nobody me then, couldn't nobody with me now, yo. Can't be serious, dog. Can't nobody me with this rap.
Now here's where this conspiracy gets even more terrifying, because DMX wasn't the only one speaking out. Remember Prodigy? That man had receipts. While DMX was warning people from the streets, Prodigy was coming at this from a different angle, but saying the exact same thing about Jay-Z and Diddy's operation.
During my trial, we had gotten in contact with this guy who actually started the Hip Hop Task Force. The Hip Hop Task Force was like a myth. You know, it was a myth until my case.
So the Hip Hop Task Force would?
The Hip Hop Task Force was created to watch Sean Puffy Combs, P. Diddy, to watch the artists that was connected with P. Diddy. And then it just grew. What they were doing was profiling black people that were making money in the music industry, even if they wasn't committing any crimes. A lot of times people say, you're a conspiracy theorist, you watch too many movies or something like that, you know? But a lot of stuff I was learning was very real, you know? And we're supposed to be out here like you know, everything is fine, life goes on, but you know, that's some that needs to stop. Yeah, that was when I first realized what was happening out here in this world and the genocide that they were putting on our people, like just speaking for our people right now, covertly. That made me cry.
Be free for a second and in an undaunted manner, just talk about something that you really see and experience in this governmental system, in this world at large that really causes you pain.
Probably like what they're doing to the kids with the immunization shots. They have major programs, immunization programs, where they're poisoning us, you know? They're infecting us with stuff on purpose, and it's called population control.
Prodigy just laid out the entire blueprint of how Jay-Z and Diddy were working together to exploit young artists. This wasn't some random beef or jealousy. This was a coordinated expose from someone who'd seen the system from the inside. And notice how Prodigy specifically calls out both Jay-Z and Diddy in the same breath. That's because he knew they were partners in this sick game. But Prodigy didn't stop there. He went directly at Jay-Z's throat with bars that were so specific, so personal, that you knew he had inside information.
Prodigy was originally on the Annie Up remix. Rest in peace to Prodigy.
Rest in peace.
So it's this big argument because he's on the record and he's dissing Jay-Z on the record.
Ooh. You knew this? No, I did not know
Like
this.
he's talking about, I'ma shoot up your Continental T, and like he's like the verse was fire. So you know me, I'm like, yeah, put it out, drop it, let's go. Like I'm with all the smoke. And like they kept it official, they kept it Brooklyn. Like nah, he not doing that. Not on our record.
Right, that's
like
real.
if you wanna, and I get it. Like then I was young and I understand, but now I understand that like if you put out a record and you put somebody on your record and me and you supposed to be cool and you let them diss me on your record, it's up for you when I see you.
Yeah, I learned that with Bang Bang. I learned that with Bang Bang.
Yeah, it's up for you.
That wasn't just a diss track. That was a man trying to warn the culture about what Jay-Z really was. Prodigy was fearless in calling out the industry's biggest names. And just like DMX, he paid the ultimate price for speaking truth to power.
You're gonna start hearing more in my rounds about the government, politics, about crooked is in this world, and I'm exposing everybody. I don't give a no more.
The most chilling part, both DMX and Prodigy were saying the same things about the same people, completely independently. That's not coincidence. That's confirmation. And the industry knew that if these two legends kept talking, their whole house of cards would come crashing down. Now here's what really separated DMX from every other artist in the game. He wasn't just talented, he was spiritually untouchable, and that terrified the industry power structure more than anything else. See, you can control artists through money, through contracts, through fear, but you can't control someone who's genuinely connected to a higher power. And DMX, this man had that raw, authentic energy that couldn't be manufactured or bought.
Now we get down, man. No, they don't with me. Talk like they want to. I'm good. Ain't even got within 2 feet with a knife. You can't be serious. Even try to. Out of here, man. No, y'all when it's bigger than rap. Bigger than rap. And you know who the I'm talking to. You only alive because of me. You only alive because of me. You yeah, remember Chicago. That's all I'm gonna say, Lo. Remember Chicago. You only alive because of me. You out of here.
Who are you talking about, dog?
He know what I'm talking about.
Let's
know
go.
What I'm talking about. He knows who the I'm talking about. Chicago. Same flight. You know the I'm talking about. You only alive because of me. You seen them 10 trucks parked in front of the airport? That wasn't for you. That was for me. You'd have got found in the back of one of them. I let you live.
Did you hear that energy? I let you live. That's not just rap bravado. That's spiritual authority. DMX knew he had power that went beyond the industry's control mechanisms, and that's exactly why they feared him. He wasn't playing their games, wasn't following their scripts, wasn't bowing down to their system. And when you have that kind of authentic connection with millions of fans, you become a threat to everyone who's built their empire on lies and manipulation. DMX knew they were setting him up. Listen to what he revealed about his arrest.
Wanted, dead or alive, new artists to sell their souls in the way they survive. The industry don't give a about you, but the industry couldn't make a dime without you. The industry, I'm sick of this industry. The industry playing them like a industry. They try to finish me quick, but I am long, so I stand strong. The beat. Listen to the words in the damn song. I only know how to speak the truth, you know what I'm saying? So I got a little short joint I'm gonna hit you with, you know what I'm saying? And it basically reflects on my relationship with the industry. This is what it is. Often, my words fall on deaf ears. My be listening, but don't hear. Talking to a nigga, he be sitting right here. I be like, where you going? Yeah. Thank you.
The press was already there when he got arrested. That's not coincidence, that's orchestration. DMX knew he was being set up just like Michael Jackson, just like Tupac, just like every other truth teller who got too close to exposing their operation. They always destroy the image first, then they eliminate the person. And DMX saw it coming from a mile away. DMX knew his fate was sealed, but he kept speaking truth anyway. And that's exactly why they had to silence him permanently. Because a man with nothing left to lose is the most dangerous enemy the industry devils could face. DMX didn't just expose the industry, he predicted his own death. This man knew exactly what was coming for him, and he tried to warn us one last time before they silenced him forever. What you're about to hear isn't just a farewell message. It's a prophecy from a man who knew the devils were closing in.
Is there anything else you'd like to say to the people who are watching this tonight?
Pray for me. So I pray for you. Don't believe everything you hear. Don't believe everything you read. And only believe half of what you see. God bless you.
DMX knew his time was up, knew that speaking truth about Jay-Z and Diddy's operation had signed his death warrant. And just months later, he was dead from a heart attack at 50 years old. Listen to this interview from 3 years before the Diddy scandal even broke. Jaguar Wright was already telling people exactly what was happening behind closed doors.
Some information came to me and I saw some things, official paperwork, that stated what Earl Simmons.
Oh, wow.
And it wasn't a drug.
Wow.
What I will say, and all I can say, is that he got the he tested positive for virus, and it was stated that he had passed away from the effects of what happened to him. And
wow. So let me ask you this. Why do you think that they're blaming it on drugs?
Well, I don't understand what is the purpose if someone actually allegedly died, or from a reaction to the why instantly throw addiction on it? Why would you go back to one of his demons and throw that on it and make that be the narrative, even though records allegedly are now saying very different?
Well, I do know in certain situations now, with people expiring due to corruption, there's a financial attachment in certain cases. So you can have your final request handled financially by the government in certain situations if it's proven that you passed via.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's part of it. I
have no idea.
I can't speak anything to that. But that's crazy.
Allegedly, the that handled him didn't work at the hospital, and none of the staff had ever seen them before.
What?
And that's exactly what happened to him. Just like it happened to Michael Jackson. Just like it happened to Tupac. Just like it's happened to every truth teller who got too close to exposing their operation. But there's one more piece to this puzzle that's going to make everything click into place. The financial control they use to trap their victims before they eliminate them. See, there's a pattern that keeps repeating with every artist who tries to expose Jay-Z and Diddy's operation. Right before they die, someone mysteriously pays off their massive debts. DMX died with a $12 million debt at Def Jam. And guess who cleared it? Jay-Z, the same man who destroyed DMX's career, who went silent on his 6th album, who orchestrated his downfall, suddenly becomes his financial savior. That's not generosity. That's a cover-up. When you pay someone's debt after they're dead, you're not helping them. You're buying their silence and controlling their legacy. But this isn't the first time we've seen this playbook. Michael Jackson was over $500 million in debt at the time of his death. And just like DMX, he was speaking out about industry corruption right before he died. The pattern is always the same. They trap artists in impossible debt, use that financial pressure to control them. And when the artist finally breaks free and starts talking, they eliminate them and then pay off the debt to look like the good guy. Think about it. Why would Jay-Z pay his biggest enemy's debt? Because dead men can't expose your secrets, but their families can still talk. So you pay the debt, you become the hero in the story, and you make sure nobody digs too deep into why that person really died. This is how they've been operating for decades. Create the debt, use it as leverage, eliminate the threat, then pay it off to control the narrative. DMX and Prodigy tried to warn us about this system, and they paid with their lives, but their words live on. And now, with Diddy's downfall, we're finally seeing the empire they died trying to expose crumble in real time. The question is, how many more artists are trapped in this same cycle right now? And how many more truth tellers will they silence before justice finally catches up to them? If you like this video, hit that subscribe button so that you never miss out on any new videos. And until then, fam, keep it real.